Or you react to things.
At the time, I didn't see another way to express my frustration. I'm used to being the one that barks the orders. So this is difficult for me. But you're right. I take accountability for what I did. And I'm sorry.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bert 91. I love this scene because I think it really highlights some of the differences between men and women, oftentimes that happens in relationships. So many times we hear, and I've coached a lot of women, so I know, is you hear women might say like he's not being vulnerable, or he doesn't share, or he doesn't tell me what he's thinking, or doesn't tell me, what's going through his head, or he's not opening up as one of the key words that will come out somebody's mouth, right? And it's really interesting because I think this edit does a great job of showing us what happens between men and women and why actually people miss people. In this scene here, if you didn't hear it very correctly, Chad gave us the keys as to why he reacted the way he reacted at the dinner table. So we might see the dinner table and think, oh, he's an asshole or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But actually, there's a reason behind it. And I think that's so powerful. He gave us a reason saying, you know what, I'm used to giving the orders. I'm used to barking the orders. I'm used to the one telling people what to do. And I think I don't know how to, be okay in that situation when I'm not doing that, right? And then he kind of shuffled it along really, really quickly. But one thing you didn't notice was this. You notice that the music wasn't so emotional. You notice that the music wasn't so intense. And as soon as she explains her situation and starts crying, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, the music also suddenly starts to kick in, and we're supposed to feel emotional and feel so drawn to what Belynda said. Now, Belynda has every right to feel that way. There was nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm highlighting this to say that actually we start getting conditioned through a lot of these TV shows about how we miss vulnerability when men are showing those vulnerabilities. And so I think this is very important for the ladies specifically to pick up on this. But if your man and your woman is an avoidant, this is also powerful for you as well to pick up on, because this is what people miss. They miss the explanations as being a case of vulnerability. This could have been a key moment for Belynda to ask more questions. But because Belynda also felt some type of way about his behavior, I understand why she didn't. But again, he asked her key questions later on in this video, right? He actually asked her like, okay, you're feeling this way, but why are you feeling this way? He asked inquiring questions. He did not get that back. And so this is very important, again, so that you don't miss your partner and miss their vulnerabilities in this aspect. Okay, so again, before I get anywhere further, make sure you do me a massive favor. You're liking, you're sharing, you're subscribing, you're clicking on that wonderful bell button. I'm hoping you're loving this series of attachment style stuff I'm breaking down for you guys, because honestly, I'm loving it. And if you don't love it, I'm gonna love it some more, because it's what I do on a regular basis as well. So listen, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Click on that wonderful bell button for notifications of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated. And don't forget to hype the video, okay? All right, don't play with it. Don't play with it, okay? All right, cool. Let's just get into this video real quick. I want to play this video clip right fast as well, all right?
It's supposed to be our honeymoon. I think the absolute world of you. You have a big heart.
Now, he immediately took accountability for his actions at the dinner table after he explained his vulnerability. And that's something that he has to work on, because actually the reason why he did that is because he's also afraid of being vulnerable. So the moment he was vulnerable, he kind of covered it up instantly with, oh, let me take accountability. And accountability is good. But sometimes you can rush to that accountability without allowing it to settle, so that people can be able to ask a few more questions to go a little bit more deeper with you. Well, it's hard to do, because sometimes what you recognize is people aren't used to going deep with you, and you're not used to allowing people to go deep with you and ask those questions. Also, being told off is a form of criticism. And so actually, rather than being criticized, I'd rather just tell you what I did wrong and be accountable for it. That way I don't get criticized, and I don't feel like that feeling of rejection or your disappointment over me. And I don't want to feel that. That's triggering, okay? And so I understand that, but I want to go back, because I want to definitely do a part 3. I'll talk about Belynda specifically, and I can't wait to chop her version up as well. Because I
take accountability for what I did. And I'm sorry.
Oh, I went too. Sorry.
My frustration. I'm used to being the one that barks the orders. So this is difficult for me. But you're right. I take accountability.
So as you hear him say there, it's difficult for me to do that because I'm used to taking those orders. I'm used to barking up. What would be you as an audience member? If your partner says that, what would be your next thing? What would be your next thing that comes out your mouth, right? And this is where I think for a lot of men, they don't have the opportunity to really share appropriately, because what will end up happening is, as Belynda did, she did have a genuine grievance, but the grievance will take over the situation. So now we miss an opportunity to really open him up. We miss an opportunity to get to know him a bit more. Okay, you said that you were in the you're used to authority. What's been your experience then with being more vulnerable, being more open? Why is it that you said obviously about being under authority and you not taking it? What was happening for you in that moment? Then explain that more to me. I want to be able to understand, because one thing about avoidance is that they've been in situations where people do not understand them. And so this was a missed opportunity for me, but for you and I who are watching it, especially for the ladies, if you're watching this, your man, he does this on a regular. He will say something off the cuff, and actually it's a great opportunity to ask a little bit more and be like, hey, babe, I heard you say this. What does that actually mean? And when you're saying that, it's a tone of curiosity, not oh, babe, I heard you say that. Yeah, so what does that mean? No, it doesn't sound very enthusiastic. Curiosity. Wait, I heard you say that. What does that mean? Right? And I say that because he did it, which tells me if he did it, it means that's something that he probably also needs himself, but probably doesn't say it. Let me just show you what I mean by this, right?
But I'm afraid to.
You're afraid to what?
I'm afraid to show up for myself.
Now, you notice that he asked, she said, I'm afraid to, and then he asked a question, afraid to what? He asked that question so that she can also further go along. And then and because of that, she was able then to go further and deeper into how she felt. He didn't get that. Now, that's, again, I want to make it very clear. This is actually a lot of times how people miss each other in relationships and just assume the person doesn't open up. They do, but you got to be ready for those moments. Okay, you got ready for those moments in that space. And so that's a missed emotional connection in that space. And I think for him, for him to even share that was so profound and actually eye-opening. And actually for me as well, I'm like, like, obviously, because, if you're an avoidant, you might end up dating an avoidant person too. Pay attention to those little moments of them sharing something. And them saying something, and then being curious and being genuinely intrigued to find out what's that about. You just said your emotional history. You just said some things that you've gone through. Okay, let me dive into that a little bit. If you tell me no, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe another time when you feel more comfortable, I want you to share that with me. I want to know those things, right? My curiosity will make you want to come open. That's why I do what I do, I guess. That's why I do the coaching that I do, I guess. You know what I mean? But I want to see that thing. Now, it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't overly emotional. It wasn't like the big woo-ha, so you didn't see it. But you notice that the energy, the music shifted when she started crying, because they want us to feel emotions in that moment. But what they missed was an opportunity when he had his moment, they didn't play no music, because that's actually a tendency that people have to miss the signs in that part. And actually, there was another powerful thing. My last thing, I want to go back. Something that he does at a very, I went too far back. Hold on, I went too far back. At the very beginning, something that he does here as well. They're in the bed and
Frustration.
Hold on. It's like, how we treat everybody. I know it's just for me, it's about.
Wait, I'm on the wrong part. There we go. Sorry.
I don't know.
Bloody hell, mate. I cannot find the right clip. I'm gonna get copyright at this point. Let me stop before I get copyright. He the first thing you do when you get in bed is that he looks for her touch of the hand. And this can also be missed. This is actually really good. It's not about sex, it's about physical contact. And he took her hand and said, look, I can see that you're tired, but I want to connect with you. And sometimes this can be a form of connection that people don't even recognize as well. That the touch of the hand, a hug, a kiss on the cheek or a kiss on the neck or whatever. Maybe not on the neck. Some of you, you're going to take that too far. But a gentle kiss or just kind of like being close to the person can also be an indication of the person really trying to connect with you, right? Saying that I see you. I want you to see me. I want you to feel me in that essence, right? And so sometimes actually the touching is a form of communication of saying, I can't really express what I feel, but I want to just show you how I feel. Again, that's more easier to do. It's less vulnerable and it's more easier for me to do. And so I think that was another touching moment, and I'll just show you what I meant by that again. So you see that they're holding hands.
Walk away.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
And as you notice, he's asked her, "Do you want to talk about it?" And she's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Are you tired?" You know, "Yes, I am." But he's asking. He's actually doing the chasing. He's doing the asking, and that needs to come back his way too, right? And that's why I'm saying to you, like, pay attention to your partners, guys. There is moments where you're missing because you are so focused on you. You're not focused on the fact that they've just shared something with you, and be present in the moment as well. Okay, all right. So this is something that I looked at. I was like, wow, he's being brave in this moment. And so before beforehand, I was saying like he could be a bit of an asshole, and he can be, but these are also great intimate moments as well, where if somebody's paying attention, this can actually be a great connection for the two of them as well. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys have loved what we've spoken about today. We're just hoping to break it all the way down for you guys. I would want to know your thoughts. Did you see it? Did you catch it? Did you understand it? If not, do you disagree maybe and see it differently? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to have a conversation as well with you. Don't forget to hype the video up as well. And if you need a bit of coaching, if you need to transform, heal, grow this year, 2025 is almost over. We're in the 11th month, okay, the 11th hour. But baby, if the last will be first and the first will be last in the Bible, my guy, it's the 11th month, but you can still claim your victory. You get me? Let's get that healing in the way. You get me? I appreciate that.
You know what time it is.